Hi, everybody. Kim O'Neill, transformational coach for big-hearted men and women who are in the process of bridging that gap between their head and their heart and really getting into that space of feeling confident in being who you are and moving forward. And I wanted to talk about something that I think is very relevant to a lot of big-hearted people, empaths, people who are on some form of spiritual or healing journey. And it's really the topic of value, personal value. Everything is connected to everything else. And anytime we spend an energy in any one vibration, we develop a momentum in that. So if you have noticed that you may have attracted people into your life who don't value you, and then you start to think about the concept of law of attraction, and you might be inclined to think that, does this mean I deserve this? Does this mean that I'm not worthy of being valued? Are these people in my life confirming that? And of course, you may know that no, that's not true. You are not deserving of that. And yet there absolutely still is an answer for how you've attracted that person into your life. And it really is about confirming the vibration within yourself that you may not have even been aware that you contained. So it's going to come down to, what are the thoughts, beliefs, and feelings that you have about your own value, about your own personal value. Do you currently value yourself and behave in that way? And you may not even be aware of the behaviors that you have that are a reflection that in some way you do not. And so if you've been in any sort of behavioral pattern that's been built off of this somehow deep-seated belief or feeling that you are not as valuable as you are, then in time eventually you're going to attract other people, things, situations that will reflect that. And so it's not about saying, yes, you deserve this, or yes, that you even consciously were, I'm going to attract, people who are going to devalue me, right? No, it's simple. The universe is simply responding to you. So if you, whether you realize it or not, are not valuing yourself, you're going to at some point attract other people who will simply, they won't value you either. And you may first feel completely victimized and feel hurt by this. And you have every right to feel how you feel, because that can be a very painful, awful experience to have. But ultimately, you are not a victim of this, because that person is your teacher. And this is where that phrase, life is happening for you and not to you, really comes into play. As soon as you realize what's happening in your circumstances, and in any circumstance, whether it be, around this topic of feeling valued or devalued, or any other, as soon as you have the awareness and realize what's actually happening, then that's when you actually can start to make a choice about it, to choose to do something differently. You get to choose how you respond to it. And as you start to realize, oh my goodness, did I have beliefs that attracted this? And on some level, somewhere, there was something that lent itself to your experience. You get to start to define, okay, does that belief serve me? Do I actually believe that? You may or may not know why you have that belief, but you now have a choice to choose to change it and choose to believe other beliefs that actually are serving you and supporting you and attracting the people and situations into your life that you do want to experience, that if absolutely you do deserve to have. And so one of the beautiful things about having a situation where someone is reflecting back to you a sense of you not being worthy enough or being valued enough is you get to decide what's really true for you. Because before anybody else can really start to to honor you and respect you and value you and love you, it's always going to start with you first. You giving that to yourself first. And so it may not be a complete 180 change the moment you realize, what's happening and that you don't deserve this. I believe absolutely take the time that you need to heal from whatever situation you've experienced. But part of what's going to help you get through that healing period are the behaviors and thoughts and beliefs that really support you in developing a more stronger ability to love yourself. And that can come through a myriad of ways. So I'm not even going to get into things that you could do to start to love yourself. That's going to be an inner journey you start to take with yourself and identify, in what way am I, portraying this essence of not valuing myself, and where can I start to give to myself first, because you deserve that, and that is what's going to support you, and then being able to give to others. So I wanted to share this message with you in case you have had an experience in your life where you felt devalued and then started to question, how does the law of attraction play into this? The law of attraction doesn't have any, or the universe, doesn't have any judgment about necessarily what's right or wrong. It simply responds to what is. It responds to the vibrations. And so whether you are aware of your vibration or maybe an aspect of your vibration, right? You might be aware of certain elements of your vibration, but not aware of maybe what's underneath some of that stuff. And again, that's the beautiful part of how the universe is able to bring us things that can be a mirror to those parts of ourselves that we may not have realized. So I hope this has been helpful to you. And if you are in a space where you're trying to decipher, what are the deep-seated beliefs or thought processes that I've got going on within me that I'm, obviously not aware of, that are lending themselves to me attracting certain people and experiences into my life, I want to make sure that you know that I have a 90-minute limiting beliefs coaching session. It's one of the few one-off single sessions that I offer and has been very insightful and very helpful, very profound for the clients who I have worked with in these 90-minute sessions. And because of that outcome and that result they get, it's also makes it fun. So if that speaks to you, then go to KimO'NeillCoaching.com and go ahead and check out the Limiting Beliefs coaching session, and you can go ahead and just schedule it right then and there, and we can certainly go through this process, my process together. But either way, I just want you to know that any devaluing or undervaluing happening in your life, you do not deserve that. You do not deserve that. And the way that it's going to turn around first is not by that other person changing. I know that's the part we want, right? We want them to stop doing what they're doing. We want them to stop saying what they're saying, behaving how they're behaving. And yet we actually can't do anything about the choices they make. We can do everything about the choices we make for ourselves, about you make for yourself. And so I will leave you with that. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and go do something to go love yourself. Like really treasure and value yourself. Because ultimately, you are the biggest gift to yourself. Okay, that was super cheesy, but I had to say it. Okay, have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Bye.